All right, hello guys, Vince is here. I'm just gonna do a nice live stream. As always, let's check the microphone, because it's always a problem. If anyone can tell me if you hear me pretty good, or you don't hear me, or it's too loud, or it cracks, or anything. Working great. All right, make sure your volume is at top. Is at the top. I mean, no, don't look at that as a top, because if it's all the way up, maybe I should higher the volume, right? Anyways, all right, we got 20 people right now, so that's good. We can start. All right, let's remove this. All right, today I just want to do, as always, you know, when we do a live stream, I most of the time talk about BTC. We are at a very important level right now, and you know there are a mix of signs, there are a mix of indicators that I've been studying and posting on my channel. You guys know pretty much all of them. You know, there is not a defined direction still, so we really don't know if we will break up now or we will keep going down. It's still a big question mark. Of course, we are trying to find some patterns that can trigger reversal, and in this case we've been studying that head and shoulder pattern. That it's a pattern that, you know, usually is creating on part of a trend where a reversal can happen, and the pattern is a reversal pattern itself. So the problem is with BTC, these head and shoulder patterns most of the time don't complete, so they reach the neckline after creating left shoulder, head and right shoulder, and then it drops most of the time. So that is something we have to keep in mind and understand if this is gonna happen again or not. Of course, we are at the level where everyone knows it's really is there, guys. If we drop here, we keep going low, that's not a big it's not a news for us. I mean, the news will be breaking 6-8, which is a very important level to break. Just by tracing some horizontal level, this is the point that has been retested 3 times. Just to start simple, because we have lots of things to check here. I mean, we have even a high here that could count to make this horizontal support, and we have the head of the shoulder, right? So this is a very strong horizontal support. So, and this is what, 5.858. This is very strong, and if we go below this one, well, for sure we might probably go to 5. I mean, there are some psychological support, if you believe in those psychological support, which is, you know, 5.5. There is some support here. 1 second, your screen is blue, brother. Do you guys see pretty good, or you just is not from my side? Do you guys see clear or not? 0.5 clear. Working here. I don't see the number clear, but everything. Yeah, the number, well, that's too small. if you guys see the chart, should be very clear. If it's not, it's on your side. It's not my issue. The numbers, yeah, the numbers, I may understand they're not, the resolution might be a little bit different. But if you see the chart, if you see the lines, that's this should be it. Okay. Yeah, if you don't see, you gotta check your connection. It's not on my side. All right. Anyways, yeah, I mean, this support is one of the strongest one for now. Then if we drop this, we might be looking at 5K. And if we reach 5K, then things start to turn ugly, and you know, a selling can be tricked, like a really panic sell if we drop this level. That's for sure, and that's the things that scares me the most in the market. But you know, we have some idea, some bullish idea that can pump the coin. So we want to look at those ideas, but before that, let's switch to Ekinashi candles. So I have a better idea what the trend is doing. This is the linear scale. Starting from linear scale, which I don't like to trace on Bitcoin. I prefer log scale because the chart doesn't get distorted. And what I mean by that, I've seen many things over and over again, and I'm just gonna do a quick review what linear scale and logarithmic scale means. Like if I trace a percentage from here and I want to get 100% profit, that's my 100% profit, right? That's the height that I see. If I want to check 100% profit from this level, look how high it becomes. So here, from here to here, and from here to here is the same percentage, but because the linear scale distort a chart, if you see, you know, with your eye, you might see, oh, I make so much money here. Look at this pump compared to this pump. No, this pump is the same spike, the same percentage of this one, but the linear scale will mess you up. Okay, look, if I click on logarithmic scale on the bottom, the both green box will become the same. See, logarithmic. See, now I have a better understanding of what's going on, right? So this can trick you while you chart. So that's why I prefer logarithmic scale. And then resistances and especially diagonal trend lines get distorted a lot. What I mean by that, if I want to trace, the trend becomes more parabolic. That's what I mean. So this is linear scale, and in the linear scale, if I trace a curve, and the trend becomes more a curvy trend. If I put a logarithmic scale, look what happens. Oh, auto. So my trend line almost becomes straight. Of course, you know, I need to you know, connect more precise the point, but this is straight. If I put the linear scale back on, look, it becomes a parabola, a parabolic trend. Okay, logarithmic is straight, linear is parabolic. Okay, so that's another idea. Okay. Anyways, let's start with logarithmic scale. Actually, let's do linear scale, just some trend lines, so you guys understand the difference here too. Like the linear scale, if I want to trace a line, you see I can find this to connect those two highs. Then oh. What the hell? I can connect this one, can connect this one. And I can have some ideas, like at the beginning everyone was kind of charting on linear scale when we were, you know, around this level pretty much. Yeah, when we were here, everyone thought, you know, oh, BTC touched the resistance tree line, it's breaking now, it's breaking, and then it was a false break and everything started to drop again, kind of like bouncing on this line. But it was not as precise as if we would have a look at the logarithmic scale right away. If I put logarithmic scale, the things change a lot. So in this case, if I want to connect the first two highs here, look what happens. We have now perfect three touches. So even though this one looked that it broke on linear scale, in logarithmic scale didn't really break, and the real break was at this point. Okay, so it didn't really retest this level. Might retest if it drops probably, but this is a line, a trend line, and a trend line is called trend line because it's both a resistance and support. When the trend line is below, of course it's called a resistance, but when it's above, it becomes support. Those are trend lines that we draw. Anyway, okay, so then, you know, there are other ones that we have been looking for by connecting those 3 points. This was the famous triangle that everyone have been looking at. Something like that. So let's make things more clear, because when I chart, you know, I like to keep an order of things, otherwise it becomes messy and you don't know what you're doing. So this is our possible bearish target. This is strong support, horizontal support. Horizontal support, like that. Then we have a trend line here. Trend line, you know, I think things are already more clear, right? I don't get really I understand things more. I have more levels, I keep everything in there. Then when I understand what is helpful for me and what is not, I try to remove things, and that's how this is how I present you guys in the channel the information. You know, I trace my chart at the beginning are like a mess. They're full of lines, indicate, and right now there is no indicator on. I don't know if you notice. So if I start to add indicators, for people that are not really familiar with technical analysis, the chart can be like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? So that's why I try to make things as simple as possible. And remember, you know, for everyone that wants to do this and wants to teach, wants to share knowledge, remember, you can be the best trader in the market, in the world, but there is a difference between being a trader who knows how to teach stuff and how to provide and share information, and a difference between a trader that just trades, you know, because I can chart and trade all day with all my ideas and trend lines and analysis and indicator tools, Fibonacci, Elliott waves, and I post in your channel. You won't understand what I'm doing if you're not really familiar with, you know, technical analysis. So, you know, it's not that easy to teach someone or to kind of present an information in an easy way, especially technical analysis, because it's not an easy thing. You know, it's not that you just start today and boom, you know to chart. You know, it's something you have to practice. So that's why I'm trying to do here. Okay. So what I see here, if I gotta start by looking at some lines, so we say we identify this triangle, and let's make it more clear too. So this is the triangle, bearish pennant in this case. I mean, this could have been, you know, drawn a little bit better, but I was just tracing the main support, but you know, this could have been like this too, right? Like that too, let's say. Okay, so this was a symmetrical triangle, probably was a bearish pennant because it came from a bearish trend here. The correction started here, then he made a correction, started from here, and he broke down. He broke down, and you know, this pattern was not, you know, was gone. Since it broke down, everyone switched to a symmetrical triangle kind of idea. The flat bottom or descending triangle idea, which in this case will be this one, right? Let me move this. So descending triangle or flat bottom called, that can either break in both ways. You know, yes, the books say descending triangle usually break down, and ascending triangle usually break high, but that's not the reality. The reality is if the support, so the strong support, is strong enough to hold the trend, we will go up. If for any other reason the support that we got gets broke down, it's gonna break down. So until we are in a triangle, we are kind of in a safe position. So, you know, we have to take step by step decision to understand, you know, if we break down this triangle, we go short, we sell our Bitcoin, we sell our altcoins. If we break above, for sure my most important level as right now in the short term will be breaking 6.8, which has another strong is a strong resistance at the level. We try to break twice here. Actually, before getting into that, I just want to show you my my main line of worry. This is the line that I'm more worried about. I'm gonna make it red. So what I'm seeing here, let's remove some stuff, and let's remove this, so let's remove that. Okay, so what I'm looking here, I'm looking for a breakdown, touch a strong support, goes up, retest this support, which became a resistance at this point. It retested once, retested twice, and it might retest again or keep going down. So this can be a retest of the support, and this is why This is the reason, because there is a reason why BTC might keep dropping. Okay, even though we have a nice head and shoulder pattern. The problem with head and shoulder pattern is that a BTC doesn't complete. Yes, sometimes it did complete, but you know, we have an example here. This can be some kind of head and shoulder. I'm not gonna trace it perfectly because I need to go closer, but that's an head and shoulder that complete up to the neckline but didn't go through. There are a few other head and shoulder in the pattern. Let's see if we go 4-hour chart, if I see some. This one can be some kind of head and shoulder that did not complete again, right? There are some other small one that did complete. For example, this one. Right? So this is red. This is red because it didn't complete. And this one was a little one that that complete. Complete means it reverse. It totally reversed. So it started from here, from a bearish trend. The pattern made an inverse head and shoulder and reversed itself and went all the way up from where it started. That's a full head and shoulder, right? Those one didn't complete. Here, you know, we have this other idea that, you know, we're looking for to complete, but we are at the support of the left shoulder, right? So this line here, that's where the trend stopped, and we're hoping that this was gonna happen next, right? Head, shoulder, head, oh, head was here, and shoulder. Okay, this is the idea. And if we complete this and we go to look closely, closely in a higher time frame, this can be the next step, the bigger picture, the head and shoulder right here. Okay, and in this case might not complete if it doesn't break this this blue line, right? So there are many ideas at this point that we have to check, but I just wanted to give you some general ideas for the moment, and then we can go look at a small time frame to understand what the next step could be, the next move could be of BTC. But this is what I see in the big chart, okay? And remember, I didn't even use any indicator at this moment. So zero, nothing. I didn't evaluate any other thing, so I don't make you guys confused too much. So let's remove this pattern. Let's keep the simple trend lines. Let's remove this, that. Okay. Okay, right here. All right, let's start to analyze some indicator. RSI first. How is looking in this level? Does look like great. does look like gray. I mean, it's dropping faster than the price. We cannot really tell too much by looking at RSI on the daily, except the fact, you know, we have seen this this divergence. Oh, was a bearish divergence here that already worked, already did this thing. So if we bought at this level after making lower lows and higher lows, so there is a divergence in price and the RSI. We have seen the pump. In this case, there was about 17% pump. So 70% pump, it's a pretty good one. 70% of Bitcoin price going up, that's a lot of money right there. So a correction of that little spike was needed for sure. So we just have to see if the head and shoulder, my work on these things keeps going down or not. But from the other side, this level, it looks bearish, is going down, not really a sign of reversal at this point. That's it. Let's take a look at MACD. MACD doesn't look great either. This was very low right here. It's about to cross, to make it like a dead cross. So in this case, when the blue line crosses the yellow from above, it's not a great indicator, as you guys can see here. So that's not a good one. This is not a good one. This is a good one because the blue comes from below, right? Yeah, those indicators, I don't like them too much at the moment. Let's put volume. I mean, volume, we know what it's doing in the one-day chart. So there was a big sell at the left shoulder, and then another big selling volume high at the head of the shoulder, and volume here on the right shoulder is not being too high as the left and the right shoulder. So this might mean that the interest in selling BTC was not as high as when it dropped here. So in this case, this could be a good analysis of volume to think about an head and shoulder reversal. Because you guys remember those candles that you see here, you know, you sometimes see different colors. They're the same. You know, it doesn't mean you see a green candles, you see a selling volume, sorry, a buying volume, or you see a red candle that means selling volume. It's just volume. Then you gotta figure it out if it's a selling volume or buy volume by looking at other things. That's why I put all the same color at this point. Anyways, one thing that I was worried about was the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Band, they don't look great here at this point. You know, not that the trend has to reach 100% the bottom of the Bollinger Band and gets oversold. You know, it's not 100% sure that that's gonna happen. As you guys can see here, for example, the trend was going down and then touched the middle line of the Bollinger Band and went up again. And here too, it got oversold, it touched the middle line of the Bollinger Band and dropped down again. And then, it touched the top, it touched the bottom, touched the middle line here, touch the middle line here and goes oversold. Here there was a support, and here is touching the midline. It kind of dropped a little bit more. So by looking at Bollinger Bands itself right now, I'm bearish, so we can drop here by looking at Bollinger Band on the daily chart. I'm bearish on this one. Let's go check on 8-hour chart. See, for example, 8-hour chart, already things change a bit when it's already oversold, and in this case I'm expecting some kind of spike up. 4-hour chart, it's getting flat, but Bollinger Bands, it's an indicator we can use for sure, but it's not, it can give a false signals, so it's not the best indicator to use. Anyways, what else we can check on the daily? Yeah, because I have so many things. Oh, the moving averages. So the moving average, actually we don't need 50 and 200 because we know what they're doing. They're doing nothing yet. So the 10 and the 20 was a study that I did on Twitter. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, so they crossed again. Again, the study of moving average, can tell us something, but remember, guys, I was explaining in the chat channel, moving averages are just a confirmation of what the price does. It's just a lagging indicator, so it kind of confirms what's gonna happen, but then if the price change direction, of course the moving average will change direction. So it's not an indicator that you can use by itself. This is moving average 10 and 20, for example, and we see that when it crosses here, it kind of confirms the drop that's already happening here, right? It crosses here, but the drop is already happening, okay? Then there is a bullish trend. It didn't kind of complete, so it stopped here, and that's why the moving average didn't cross. Then when we have a nice candle across both moving averages, we have this golden cross, which is a bullish cross, and that confirms this candle. So you're never gonna see a golden cross before the candle spikes up. So that's why it's not an indicator that you can use to trade and make a bigger prediction. And for example, here we have the drop, the moving average 10 and 20 cross and confirm this bearish trend. It happens here, then it kind of cross and recross right away, then it crossed here and the price dropped. Like, this is a perfect example, right? We had the spike here, bullish trend for 17%. We had a confirmation and it's been dropped again. So the moving average can totally recross again right away. So it's not an indicator that we can trust to make too great prediction. That's what I'm saying. And just, nice to see for sure some waves, some up and downs, and to understand what it might happen. But you know, it's an indicator that have to confirm our theories, our previous study, with all the indicators that we have been using, trend lines, supports, and so on, and patterns. Now this was one, and then there was another one that they were talking about. Oh, the 50 and the 50 and the 200. On the 4-hour chart, that cross too. You know, that was a nice other cross that very important. As you can see, he crossed here and is confirmed this bearish trend. Then he pumped and he crossed here, confirms this bullish trend, and he crossed. Why cross? Because it was crashing again, confirms this bearish trend. Now he pumped, he crossed, it didn't work this time. I mean, it might cross back again and keep his way down. So again, be careful when you trade moving averages. And that's it for moving averages. Now let's go close, see what happened in other charts. Any questions so far? Okay, so check 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. So for our chart, of course, I've done my study in checking the other all the trends. So when I use 4-hour chart, I go closer probably in the last part of a trend, and I start to identify other channels that I could not see. I mean, I could see, but I can better see with this time frame. Let's start with this channel to analyze a channel here. So first of all, I trace lines by connecting few lows, few highs, and see what I can connect. Weeks are very important, but you know, some weeks can be just a fails breakouts. Like for example, this one can be a fails breakout. You know, more lows, more highs you can connect, better a better resistance or support you can trace. This can be a good channel that broke up and might go for a retest at this point. So we keep this channel for sure. No. Just looking for stuff. Okay, so yeah, drawing downtrend channels, that's what I see. Then we have that one. Okay. So let's trace some horizontal resistance and support. I don't trace too many horizontal resistance and support because I use Fibonacci. So when I trace my Fibonacci levels, those levels of course becomes automatically for me support and resistance. So that's why you guys don't see me tracing too many lines. So when I have this, I have my levels already. No, you guys can see this is a nice resistance. This is nice. You know, the trend bounce off on every level. So let's see if we can trace some Fibonacci. I mean, this is a nice trend, so I would like to know how much this trend retrace upwards. So I'm gonna trace an inverse Fibonacci. No, 100%. Oh no, sorry, from the top. All right, so this is a nice picture here. So what I see here, this downtrend channel, this was a bearish trend, broke up and tried to reverse, right? And it stopped right on the 23% retracement upward, right? Because, you know, we can see either a retrace that goes from the top down, you know, a trend that goes up, then it retraces, and then there is a trend that goes down and retrace upward. So what this trend does, you know, it goes down, goes down, goes down, goes down, touch, and it tried to reverse, then finds a Fibonacci level and it goes down, right? So this is a strong resistance that we're looking at, and it's right on the neckline of the head and inverse head and shoulder that we want, right there. That's why for me that level is so important. And I mean, if we want to trace an horizontal line, there are not perfect. Actually, maybe if I go on the one-day chart, I see some candle that close on the line. Not really, but you know, we have for sure some movement on this line. You know, we have of course this spike that just drop here and goes back up. This is you know, the strongest probably support that we got on that level. But we have few many things here that can make us worried, right? As you can see, in this case we have this one. This is the support of bearish pennant. Then we have in blue neckline of inverse head and shoulder, and we have Fibonacci retracement 23%. And what else we got here? Could be double top as well, then even more down. I don't really like that idea because double top, it's a reversal trend. A reversal pattern. Double top, if this was a double top, should have come from a bullish trend. touch twice the top and reverse down. This is not a double top because it's not reversing. It comes from a bearish trend already. If this has to be a double top, it should have been like this, coming from a bullish trend, touch, correct, touch, and reverse down. In this case, the pattern comes from a bearish trend already, so it's not a double top. This, for example, is a double bottom. It comes from a bearish trend, touch once, arrives at the neckline, touch here, and reverse. This is a double bottom, for example. So you have to understand those little things if you want to call for a double top, if that's the double top you're talking about. Okay, so we know that there is a massive resistance at 6.8. It's massive, okay? We cannot fake that that's there, okay? That's a massive resistance. We have everything there. It's gonna be hard to break. This is why, for me, breaking 6.8, it's gonna be a very important level, right? Boom. Okay, like that, so you guys don't forget. So those levels that we see here that I've just drawn and traced, those were the levels that were already there when I told you guys to take a short position on 6.8, right? And you guys have followed, if you follow my channel, you have seen how precise I've been with the prediction of this pattern up to this moment, right? Then we have to see again, you know, we have to go with the flow with those patterns. You know, we cannot make patterns that, okay, this thing is gonna go to 20k tomorrow, or this thing is gonna go to 3k tomorrow. That's not technical analysis, guys. Like I lose my brain when someone says, okay, we're going to 3k tomorrow. How you know? It's not a sure thing that we're going to 3k. We need to follow it because it's so there's so much going on in just a little part of the trend that nobody can say it's gonna go to 20k and it's gonna go to 3k. Yesterday I made a chart which, you know, it's a long-term prediction of Bitcoin if ETF gets approved, but that's why I call it chart of the dreams. It's not something that, hey guys, we're going here. You know, I'll never say, you know, we're going to 1k, we're going to 20k. You know, when I say it, it's just, you know, a very long prediction that might happen, but you know, I'm never gonna tell you guys we're going to 3k, we're going to 20k. Like I like to evaluate things as we go. So we have this resistance. We have to break this resistance to go to 20k. Then we have other support, and for sure this is a strong support too, because there is the left shoulder end up here. Not, I mean, yeah, I won't call it a strong support, but because when we evaluate those head and shoulder patterns, the right shoulder usually can be, and sometimes it is, lower than the left. It's not a rule that the left shoulder and the right shoulder has to be the same height, okay? So these things can drop down here and then go back up. The pattern will still be good. The most important thing in inverse head and shoulder pattern is the neckline. So the neckline has to be there. We need to be able to connect the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, and so on. Okay, so that's very important. anything is possible. The only difference is how likely it takes time to go up or down. Yeah, I mean, there's no 100% things here, you know. Technical analysis evaluate tools that you have to predict something. So prediction is something based on historical data that you can use to make a prediction. More data you got, more tools you got, more things repeat itself, then you're gonna make a better prediction. That's it. Like, I'm not saying it's like the weather. I mean, not the weather in Canada for sure, because they cannot predict the weather in Canada. But if you go in Italy, you know, the guy can predict the weather pretty good, because he knows the data of whatever happens in the sky. They can make predictions, but that prediction can fail. You know, if the guy says it's gonna rain at 5, it might rain at 6. You know what I mean? So I hate when people tell you a number and it's stuck there and the thing is everything can happen in this market. We know that. We can go to 1K, we can go to 20K tomorrow. We don't know. We don't know. So we have to make considerations as we go right now, especially now that we are at a level that is pretty crazy. All right. So by looking at this, I was evaluating a few things, right? The head and shoulder pattern, might work or not. Why might work or not? Well, okay, look at the indicator, 4-hour chart, RSI oversold. Pretty good indicator, right? It looks good. No, not a bad thing, not a bad thing, right? It's pretty oversold, might drop more, for sure. You know, when it's oversold, it doesn't mean you're gonna buy, because, you know, you guys, I mean, there's not a huge example here, but the RSI can drop more for sure. So this is the all-time low of the left shoulder. So this thing might right there, just to make a double bottom, and in that case we would have yeah, some kind of a divergence with price, because if the price arrives here, we can connect. No, we cannot connect the low. There's the head in between. Anyways, RSI can drop more for sure, but you know, it's oversold, so it's not a bad indicator here. By checking RSI. So RSI, I'm pretty positive on the 4-hour chart. Then the Kimoku cloud, that's something that I don't like. I don't like that it broke here. In the 4-hour chart, there's some candles. Let me see in the daily. The daily. No, the daily, I don't have my Kimoku. Oh, 8 hours, that's where it was. 8 hours, no, the candle closed already. So I was hoping that the candle didn't close below the cloud, but it did here. So that's for sure not a great sign. Let's go on a 4-hour. Breaking that, let's take a Fibonacci level, see what's going on. So with Fibonacci, let's remove this one. Oh, with Fibonacci, we say Kimoku cloud doesn't look great here. TK lines are kind of crossing, recrossing, so I don't like that too much. It retraced 50%, we had some bouncing, and it dropped right to 61%. 61% can still be a great bounce. Okay, if we trace a Fibonacci here, for example, that consider this spike, these things upside down, if you consider these things upside down, you trade 61% and then bounce back up, let's say, right, if it was opposite. So since left and right shoulder might mirror themselves most of the time, that's what might happen, right? So this level, yeah, it's super important right here. Supporting here, if it drops more, I'm not gonna like this. If it drops more here, 61%, of course next target will be 6k, which is on the 78% Fibonacci. And as you can, the pattern, as you can see, they stop on every level. See, they stop 38, bounce at 50, go all the way up to 100%, and then those are other weird things that happened, and moving averages going on and so on. But anyways, the main idea is that the trend usually bounce on those levels, right? So we need to take a nice look at those levels because they're very important. So I think for our chart we have analyzed so far pretty good. 78%. If it drops here, we don't really have too much support. I mean, we have this support here. What else we got there? 78. We got this little high right here. So you might stop there or just go directly down to 100%, which would be again 58. Okay, or even a lower here, 58. I mean 58. Yeah, so that's the level we want to have under control. If we break that down, we're in trouble. Okay, and it's time to go take a look closer, I guess. Let me see MACD for the moment. Let's see how it is looking. It's not looking terrible. Oh, trend line. No, it's not a great trend line. Okay, no, MACD just looks good because it's below 0, but it can drop more, so nothing that I can really tell from the 4-hour chart. Let's go take a look quick at what can I can see here, the count, the TD sequential count. What is it? There we go. So nothing I can see for our chart. Let's go take a look 2-hour chart. I don't analyze too much. Let's go take a look at 1-hour chart. Let's move to the sequential for now. It's messy. Okay, 1-hour chart. What we can see here is a nice, that's okay. 1 second, because I was not reading your comments at all. Let's see, just bear one second. Thanks, this got triggered. Is it possible 3K? Yes, it's possible. Anything is possible. The only difference is how likely. Does that look like a flat B wave, Vince? Flat B wave. What do you mean by flat B wave? Like an ABC correction? Anyways, what I'm looking here, and I just noticed now, I did notice. This is the first time I notice? Maybe. There's a nice bullish divergence on both MACD and RSI, which is great, even though D might already happen. See, RSI, it's oversold, both lows are in the oversold area, so this can be a nice bullish divergence. What a divergence is, I mean, you guys see how the RSI follows the price. See, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and the RSI is doing the same, up, down, up, down, up, down. In this case, though, it's going down, 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 while the RSI is going down, up, down. And those lows, this low, the trend made a new low. In this case, it didn't make a new low. The low that you see on the RSI didn't make a lower low, but it make a higher low. That's why we have a divergence in this case, okay? A bullish divergence, because this pattern, usually RSI can go up from here and the trend will follow. So when we see this is a regular divergence, when we have a bullish regular divergence, usually that divergence indicates a change in trend. So the trend that in this case is correcting will change from bearish to bullish. Okay, when we have though a hidden divergence, that divergence will indicate a continuation in trend. Okay, and we have even another bullish divergence on MACD. So by looking at this, that doesn't look bad. I don't know, Lucky. I don't see an Elliott wave. I don't see a perfect Elliott wave here, so that's why I'm not considering an ABC correction. This pattern is fucked up. It's just a channel, or there was like a rising wedge or whatever. So no, it's not really no, it's not really an Elliott wave that I can see. Oh, the 1-day chart. I will take a look later. Okay. I mean, Ikimoku Cloud, I don't really like it. A 1 hour chart, I don't. I'm not a fan of the Ikimoku Cloud on the 1 hour chart. You know, for sure is something, but yeah. So this bullish divergence might do something. You know, might spike up. Divergences are very important to check, and for sure can be something. But it can just be a little thing, you know. The power of the divergence, how strong can it go up? It's hard to tell. And here, if we want to trace a pattern connecting the week, probably. Yeah, it kind of was. It was hard to see. I don't know. This is Coinbase. I don't know if other charts were more precise, but could have been a bearish pennant. Connect this 1 and 2. Maybe those are just false breakouts, or I can connect the candles, and there will be a bearish pennant there. Okay, and it broke down, bearish pennant because come from a bearish trend. You know, it's a symmetrical triangle, but come from a trend. So now it might be doing another one, but we have to go take a look closer. Take a look closer, see what we see. 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart is getting tight here. something like that. Not a really defined one. It's still smaller, way smaller than this one. And so what I mean by that, that means maybe can just be the inside part of a bigger triangle, like if I would trace like a little one here, right? Let's say if I trace let's say something right here, and it breaks down and it touches and make other ones. So I think we will need like more time before a move here to understand where it's gonna go. But this could be a start. Remember, a symmetrical triangle can either break both ways, but if the symmetrical triangle comes from a bearish trend, chances are maybe 70%, 65%. Depends, you know, from the experience. There are not really defined rules for that, but depending on what coins you're charting, what stocks you're charting, whatever, and what indicators were the situation, things can break either up or down. So we have seen Bitcoin breaking this pattern up, so it's not a surprise if it breaks up. So don't put all your money in on it's a bearish pen and it will break down. It's not like that, and I can give you guys an example on the daily, probably. Actually, 4-hour chart, probably. For our chart, when we were at this level, we made a bearish pennant that everyone thought would break down because he has a pole that comes from a bearish trend, but he fucking broke up. So, you know what I mean? Always trade the break or trade inside a triangle. So if you have a triangle, you can short trade support and resistance and make trades inside the triangle, like, you know, this triangle right here. You know, if you guys margin trade, you could have used, if you want, a 5-minute chart or 3-minute chart and just scalping this symmetrical triangle right here, right? This was a perfect scalping opportunities for margin traders, right? Like this. So you buy support, sell at the top, 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 and you can make some profit. This is what 1%. So 1%, 25 times leverage would give you what, 25%. So that's not bad at all, right? Of course, you know, that's not very high risk trades, but just to give you an idea, okay? Okay. What else? Oh, I know what you mean, Lucky. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The B that you were saying, like, if you think that was the bearish Elliott you were talking about, Elliott, you were talking about this Elliott probably, and then it's doing an ABC, but this A is above 5, so I don't really like it as a correction, right? If should have been a nice flat ABC, probably would have been like this: A, B, C. Is that what you mean? So in this case, if it's this what you mean, to start back down again, B is too high than 5, so I don't really want to consider that as a good Elliott. My an Elliott can start from here maybe. So this could be something, and then we can see an ABC correction. So this probably can be a better idea. Remember when I don't know if when I did the study of my Elliott wave. Usually the Elliott wave, when you guys see an Elliott wave like that, for example, then there is an ABC correction. It can be like that. What the pattern really made is an head and shoulder, right? And then it goes back up from here again, right? And that's the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. Okay, so if Elliott wave can either be bullish or bearish, right? So if this one is a bearish Elliott, we could see an ABC that happens here, and this could be actually a good idea. An ABC that happens like it, A, B, and C, and that will complete our head and shoulder, right? Our inverse head and shoulder that we've been looking for. And it will end up touching that strong resistance created, which is the resistance of the symmetrical triangle, right? So that can be actually a pretty good scenario. The problem is breaking 6, 6, 8. Okay. So I got a few ideas, guys. Like it's still, we still don't know. I'm still waiting. I enter a few coins, high risk, just to try to catch the bottom. I don't know if I did good or not. For example, Neo for me was a good trade. BNB was another one that I'm looking for, and there are some other ones that I will share in the channel when it's time to do it. But that's all. That's my analysis of Bitcoin. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned something from it. Again, I'm not here to tell you that we're bearish or bullish. I'm just giving you tools and idea and levels that you can consider in order to be safe. By knowing technical analysis and study the chart, you can be safe and decide when to enter and to exit the market. That's what we need technical analysis for. Without technical analysis, if there was no technical analysis, you have to go by the fundamentals. We will all be fucked because the market is manipulated. So if you are just a fundamental analyst, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna tell you when to buy, when to sell. Just more a strategy for holders. You hold the coin, but when the market crash, you don't know anything about the charts. You don't know when to sell. So by mixing fundamental analysis and technical analysis, well, that's the best tool ever, because we can either make consideration of news, update, the power of the coin, and we can make other consideration regarding the chart and the psychology of the trader, what the traders are doing, to find entry points, to find targets, to find pressure, volumes, and so on. So technical analysis is very, very, very important, and it fucking works. We just have to consider all the factors that can bring the price down, bring the price up, and it's just not technical analysis. That's a problem. So it's another tool that will for sure help you to make a better decision. Talking about fundamental analysis, in my personal opinion, we are still in early stage to make trades off of just fundamental analysis, because the public adoption of the project and the blockchain is still at early stage. So as you might understand, you know, even though, oh yeah, there is one chain, they do this and that and blah 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 blah, blah, when nobody is using it, or maybe they have a roadmap that is like long 10 years like Tron, well, you may understand, you know, investors don't really give a fuck about that project. And we know some ICOs like Icon went all the way up to 100x and drop all the way down, and everything does that. So fundamental analysis is not gonna help you to hold that coin to put that price up. Yeah, and news can pump the coin and updates or some partnership, but that's just hype. They just FOMO. They just, it's not really a healthy thing. The mainnet launch is gonna happen, yeah, people buy it, then it stops. Like, it's not gonna help you to make good decision. Like Pandiax, it's an amazing coin, amazing partnerships. They have already a product that works, but the thing is dropping. Why you think it's dropping? Because it was a all-time high. The market is bad. Traders, investors don't want to hold it because they don't feel safe. Bitcoin is at this crucial point, so the psychology, it's terrible. They made so much money, why they're not gonna sell? Do you think people are dumb, like investors are dumb? They were whole-time high. Pandiax was a whole-time high compared to Ethereum chart when it got listed on Binance, however you want to call it. It was a matter of fact, it was gonna drop, especially after the hair drop. Everything drops. There is not a coin, a single coin in cryptocurrency that reached all-time high, it didn't drop. Every single coin dropped. Why Pandiax should have not dropped? Guys, you need to like make those considerations when you make your trades. Hodling is good when you are in a bull market. Holding a coin, a project that is a all-time high in a terrible market is the worst mistake you can ever make. Then, if you're looking at long-term strategies, a 5-year plan, well, of course, you buy, you hold, you accumulate, and you're happy. But, you know, we live in a world where we're daily traders. We want to make money faster than 5 years. So not everyone has those kind of mentalities. So my suggestion when I say, hey, this coin is dropping, it's not gonna how do you say, fuck up your long-term decision. Sorry, I didn't have a better word for that. But if I say Pandiax is dropping, I'm not saying Pandiax is shit, it's gonna fail, it's a garbage coin. It's just dropping because the chart says it's dropping, and it probably will drop, and investor will buy the coin cheap. So those guys that bought thousands of dollars, they're selling on you that you want to hold that coin. So they're making money off of you, and they're gonna buy low, and when they buy low, they're gonna buy a lot, and they're gonna make so much more percentage, because buying low, if a coin drops 50%, you lose 50%, right? If you hold that coin, then if you buy from the drop of 50%, the coin to go back up from where you from where all-time high, it would reach 100%. So like an example here, let me see, how can I do an example? And this is like everyone knows it, but you know, just for some people that might not know this. So if a coin drops 50%, all right, so this is all-time high right here. The coin drops 50%, and you holding the coin, right? You holding the coin, you lost 50%, right? So you had 10K, you're at 5K, then goes back up. How much you think you got? The same amount of money, right? So, but what happens if you sell here? You add 10K, you sell, drops 50%, then you use your 10K to buy all the coins that you can buy. And if you buy at this level, right there, and it goes back up, how much money you think you will have? So if you have 10K here, $10K, you hold the coin, you arrive here, you get 5K. All right? Then the coin goes back up, you get 10K again. Okay? Why is that? Why you have the 10K? Of course, because you're holding. But if I trace a percentage profit from here, so this is a loss. And this is a profit. So from here to there, the percentage change, you will need 100% profit in the case. So if you hold, 10K becomes 5, and then the 5K increase 100% up to all-time high. So your 10K, you still have 10K, right? You know, for some of you, these things are normal. You know, it's pretty clear, but some of the newbies might not know this. So I'm just making this example to make it clear for everyone. So this is holding strategy, right? What if I sell? Right? 10K. You sell 10K. The coin drops 50%. How much you have? You sold, you still have 10K, right? Then you buy back at 10K. The coins go back up. Your 10K increase 100%, so you have 20K. So if a coin has to drop 50% and more, why the hell you have to hold the coin? It makes no sense at all. 0 sense. Now, this is an example with 50%. But remember, the market crashed 70%. So let's make an example of 70% here. So if a coins drop 70%, okay, and here, right, 70%, and you have your 10K, right? 10K. You sell because you're smart. You think about the crash. It's crashing. You don't want to hold in a bear market. You want to hold in a bullish market. The thing is crashing. It goes back down here. You buy back with your nice 10K. and the price goes back up to the point when you sell, how much you think you made? Let's go check. From here to there. What is 230? 230, so what is it? Is it 336 or 236? 10, 20, 336, yeah. So your 10K will become, because if it was 100%, you will have 20K. Because it's 200%, will be 30K. So you will have 36K. All right? Is this like, you know what I mean? So that's why it's important to sell when the coin is gonna fucking drop 70%. Okay? That's it. And then, you know, all altcoins are at the bottom. I don't know, just Red Pulse because I like it. I like Red Pulse. The chart is not even completed here, but you know, just for an example, how much the coin dropped here? From here, all-time low, it dropped 90%. Okay, if you buy at this level, how much you think you need to make 100%? Do you think it's gonna go right here? No, not at all. To make 100%, if you buy here, just need this much. Okay, just need this much to make the 100%. That's why it's important to buy the bottom. Why do you think it's important? Because the percentage increase so much. The thing that does increase is the money that gets into the coin. That's very important to know. If the market cap of Red Pulse goes down 100 million, the market cap, okay, I'm not talking about percentage profit, the market cap. If Red Pulse drops 100 million down, you will need 100 million up to reach the same all-time high. So the same money that goes in, the same money goes out, the same money goes out, the same money goes in, the percentage change. The percentage drops 90%, while if you buy low and you go all the way up, you will make 1000% profit with the same amount of money that came out and comes into the project. Okay, that's very, very, very important. Why this happens? Because if you buy low, you get a bigger piece of the cake, right? A big portion of this money that comes into the market. While if you buy high here, of course, if you buy here, you go all-time high, you're gonna make fucking 80% profit. Because you start from here, you're already late. This is 2000, and to reach top 4000, it's gonna be 100%. But if you buy a 500 and you wanna reach 5K, that's 10,000%. So you gotta figure it out, those things. That's why it's important to buy low. Of course, we don't wanna buy low right now because we don't have confirmation. Coins can drop, and a coin can only drop 100% of its value, cannot drop 200%. So you can lose quick, you can lose really quick. That's why it's important not to jump into the market at this level, right? Because, you know, if the coin reaches here, if coin is here, and I want to go down, you know, this is 133%, but it does make sense because, you know, it stops here. So it can only go down 100%. You know, you have something, you know, you start to go low, you can go low just 100%. But how much can it go up? Can it go up infinitive times? Okay, so that's something to consider for sure. pretty much most of you, of course, know this, but some newbies might not know. All right. Okay, so thanks for update. The microphone, yes, I'm gonna get a microphone. I always forget. Thank you for the comment. For explaining everything in simple language, very helpful. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate, even though it's Italian. I mean, simple language. Yeah, it's my streaming. I think they're good just because I have a simple vocabulary, you know, because I'm Italian. I don't really can speak very formal in English, so that thing might help. You know, if you understand my accent, I think you will get the thing really quick, because I just use simple terms. I'm not very formal, and that can be a good thing, right? The problem is when you don't understand my accent. That's a problem. Okay, guys, I did a 1 hour 30 stream. I'm just gonna go play soccer now. Actually, it's fucking late. And please subscribe to the channel. I never done this. I feel cool. Hey, please subscribe to the channel and put a like if you like this. And yeah, join the channel. Telegram channel. If you're not in, I guess every one of you here that's following this live stream knows my channel, but if you don't, go on cryptovince.com. you will see the link there, or if you want, go directly on Telegram, cryptovince.com/telegram, and you will have the Telegram link. Like and subscribe, and that's it. Hopefully we fucking pump from here. All right, guys, have a good day. See you, everyone. Bye bye.